Wednesday night. I hope you guys have had a brilliant week. Newsflash! Manchester United finally lost a game of football under Michael Carrick. But let's face it, it was always going to happen. I mean, you can't win every game. But you also can't complain about 6 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat in his first 8 games. Now, if he repeats that over the remaining fixtures, well, we will comfortably qualify for the next season's Champions League. Now, whilst we've been picking up results, our performances haven't been great. But I do think that's down to the depth of the squad and lack of quality options available. Now, we have also picked up a couple of injuries recently, and that has also had an impact on the balance in the team. Now, Dorgu and Martinez, well, they have been huge misses. They just offer more balance and structure down the left-hand side. Now, there is no disputing that Euro has a lot of potential, but that is all it is right now, and he still has a long way to go. Now, I have no doubt that he will develop, but he's just looked very shaky recently. And he was badly at fault for the Crystal Palace goal last Sunday. He just completely lost his man at the corner. Now, De Ligt and Mount are still missing too, but hopefully we can see them on the other side of this mini break. Overall, I do think Carrick has done a very good job since coming in. He's just steadied the ship and he's got us winning football matches again. Against Palace, I thought we played well in patches and we just seemed to control the game. Now, a common theme since West Ham away has been our lack of urgency. We are just too slow to get going in games. We just need to start better and play with more tempo. Like, for all the possession we had in the first half, we just didn't do anything with it. I have to say, if it wasn't for Euro switching off at the corner, well, Palace wouldn't have scored a goal. They literally created very little. Now, we came out firing in the second half, so Carrick clearly had a strong word with them at half-time. Was the foul on Cunha worthy of a red card and penalty? 100% it was. It was just an outrageous tackle, and he is lucky that Cunha wasn't badly injured. After Bruno equalised from the spot, well, there was only going to be one winner, and wow, what a goal that was. Into the box from the right wing by Bruno was met by Sesko, who powered home a towering header from around 12 yards out. The keeper had no chance. Another match winner from Sesko. And he was unlucky with a header in the first half too. Now, after going 2-1 up, Palace created very little. We just seen the game out comfortably, and the win took us above Villa straight into 3rd place. Now, Newcastle away hasn't been a great fixture for us over recent seasons, and that proved to be the case on Wednesday again. It was just a huge opportunity missed even before they went down to 10 men. With all the injuries and how they've been playing, they were there for the taking. I just felt like we kept shooting ourselves in the foot, and well, the penalty just summed it up. And Newcastle were up for it in the first half, but they did create very little. And when they went down to 10 men on the stroke of half time, I just thought from there was only going to be one winner. I just couldn't believe that within a couple of minutes of them having a man sent off, we went 1-0 down. And that was because of a moment of stupidity from Bruno. Now, I know he protested that he never touched the player, but it was just a silly challenge and it was 100% a penalty. Now, I was raging that we was going into half time 1-0 down to 10 men. But thankfully, Bruno redeemed himself on the stroke of half time. He sent in a brilliant free kick for Casemiro to score with a trademark header. Another headed goal. Now, my biggest complaint in the first half is that we were very slow and lethargic. Unfortunately, that didn't really change in the second half either. Now, yes, we controlled the game in the second half and we should have won the game comfortably, but apart from one or two moments, we didn't really create much. Now, could Ahmad have come on earlier? Well, 100% he could have. Now, would it have made much of a difference? Well, I'm not sure. In terms of goals and assists, he's not really done much since returning from AFCON, and that needs to change ASAP. Now, as much as I love Cunha, he just isn't the answer on the left. We just need someone that's going to provide natural width. And Cunha, well, he just wants to come inside too often. I'm sure Carrick will be the first to admit that there's maybe one or two things that he could have done differently against Newcastle. But overall, I do think his changes and substitutions in game have been the right ones. And no doubt the manager had his reasons for the changes on Wednesday. But bringing on Ugarte and Malacia, well, that just killed the game. They are useless. Why did he take Casemiro off so early? Was he injured? I would assume so. Maybe it was the black eye. But if it was tactical, then that was a huge mistake. Like, why was Malacia brought on when Aiden Heaven was sitting on the bench? I would have brought on Heaven before him every single time. The only justifiable reason I can think of is that the manager wants to see every player in a game situation. Like, he wants to see who he can trust and who he can't. And I think he's seen enough of Malacia to know that his time at United is done. And I would be very surprised to see him anywhere near the pitch again. Now, I know it was Cunha who needlessly gave the ball away in the build-up to Newcastle's second goal, but what was Malacia doing? He let his man run the entire length of the pitch. Maguire was screaming at him to get out to him. He 100% should have taken the foul. There was just zero desire to get anywhere near him. He just looked like a deer caught in the headlights. And that wasn't even the worst bit. What was the Bambi on Ice defending all about? He just seemed to turn away and look elsewhere. Malacia turned his back on him and just allowed him to have a free shot at goal. And what was he thinking? Like, somehow we were 2-1 down in the 90th minute. We were about to lose a game that we should have won comfortably. Maguire tried to get out to him, but he couldn't get close enough. Now, yes, it was a tidy finish, but it was another very avoidable goal. And there was a moment just before the goal where Malacia just failed to pass the ball 5 yards to a teammate too. He kicked it straight out for a throw, and we just seemed to lose momentum. Now, he has got to be the worst substitution yet. But we do have to look for the positives. We've taken 19 points out of a possible 24 available since Carrick took over, and we are currently sitting in 3rd place. And we do have a huge game at home against Villa next. So it will be interesting to see how we react after the defeat on Wednesday. Do the wheels come off and the season nosedives? Or do we go again and come out flying? I fully expect us to react and absolutely thump Villa. Hopefully we could get 1 or 2 players back for the Villa game too. But yeah, we've come to the end of another video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed as much as I have. This was a bit of a lengthy video and I am so sorry for that, but I needed to review 2 games, so it was a bit much. If you got to the end of this video, then you are the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Now, if you're new here, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please make sure you follow all of my social media. But yeah, have the best time, guys, and I will be back in another video.